It is the
Okay.
25th of April. This is Rabbi Furst, Pierke Avos.
Okay. Good. As we said, this is Rabbi Shlomo Furst here, Yeshiva Samanavshi here in Shemaim Care Zoom. We are now in our fifth parak of Pirkei Avos. I'll put it on the screen where we left off yesterday. I'll show you. Should be in paragraph 22 listed. And as we were learning yesterday, this is based on the drushes of Rabbi Yehuda ben Avin Shoyev, that he lists, according to the Rambam, that there are three general categories of Ava. It's as listed in the Rambam: an Ava Tivis, a Ava Gufnis, and a Ava Nafshis. So we're now in 22, who is going to be Ava Gufnis. Yeah. Who would like to do a bit reading to begin with?
I'll give it a try.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead.
So let's see. The Gufnis he Avas ha Nashim Avas Hashot Fin. So physical love.
Yeah, it's a physical love, right?
Nashim is women.
Right. This is the physical love which Kadosh Baruch Hu causes men to have a desire for women.
Which is it's a partnership, a love that is a partnership.
Right.
B'chol ahava shehaya talui b'davar batal me ahava hagofnis. And any love that is dependent upon something is nullified from physical love.
Right. Meaning the physical love, since the physical love is based primarily on the physical benefits of the relationship. So if that physical benefit ceases to exist, then the love also ceases to exist.
Vaha nifash is he ahava me'ala ke ahavas harav the talmido the talmid lerav v'ahavas hachachamim ke ahavas David v'Yonasan. So the spiritual love is elevated like the love of a Rav to his student, and a student to his Rav, and the love of a scholar is like the love of David and Yochanan. Yonasan.
Right. So this is an ava which is motivated from much higher non-physical causes and motivations.
The kasiv ahavas nafsho ahavo. It's written, the love of the soul uh, is his love.
Yes. Now I'm not sure where this plus is, where this is where this is coming up here. Actually, wait a second.
And what's written? The love of the soul. What comes after that?
Right. Avos nav show avos, meaning that.
Oh,
One second.
what comes after the love of the soul? It is written, the love of the soul. What?
He loved. It was a love. It was a love of his. His love was the love of his soul.
Oh, that's who's he?
This is a statement. You might be able to see this on your on your screen as well. It's a pasuk in, if you happen to have Shmuel Aleph, Perek Chaf Yud Zayin.
Well, Aleph,
Perek
Perek,
Chaf.
Kof, Zion. Okay. I have that. Just to... Small Aleph. All right, gotta find all right. Find all this. Small 460, 646. 6. Very cool. Cough is 8, 9. Let's just cough.
You found it there? Perek Chaf pasuk Yud Zayin. I believe it was Yud Zayin, right?
I've got
I have it. I don't see the relevance of it though.
Yud Zayin is the posuk.
The Yud Zayin is the pasuk, right?
Right, that's 17. Is that the one that says when Shaul saw Shaul, Hashem spoke to him? Is that it?
No. Again, it's in Shmuel Aleph,
I see.
the 20th chapter and the 17th verse.
Oh, 20th chapter.
So Yehonasan made a covenant with the house of David, saying, "Let the Lord even require it at the hand of David's enemies." And Yehonasan caused David to swear again because he loved him, for he loved him as he loved his own soul.
Right.
That makes more sense. So he loved him. Oh, I see. As he loved his soul, he loved him. As he loved his own soul, he loved him.
Right. I mean, Yonasan, just as he loved his own soul, and just as he loved himself, also he loved David as well.
Right. Weiter?
Yeah, very good.
Vishe'ina Kalui B'davar Ena Batla Le'olam. That which is not dependent on something will not be nullified ever. The Ezo Ahava She'eno Talui B'davar. And what is it? What is a love that's not dependent on something? Zu Ahavas David v'Yonasan. This is the love of David and Yonasan. Dichsiv, as it is written. Nif leisa ahavascha li me ahavas nashim. What is nif leisa?
Okay, you can see with Nesa Vasa, it's I think I wonder is your love for me more than the love of women.
Okay,
That,
so the love between David and Yonasan was more than the love between a man and a woman.
right, 1 second. Yeah, that's in that's in if you want to look there in Shmuel, that's in also in Shmuel base in Perek Aleph, the 26th verse, if I'm not mistaken.
Shmuel base, Perich Aleph, 26. So it says of Yehonasan, slain on thy high places. I am distressed for thee, O my brother, Yonasan. Very dear hast thou been to me. Thy love to me was wonderful, more than the love of a woman. So
Right.
this is when Yonasan dies.
I don't think so. No, I think it's previous. It's before that. I'm not sure. I have to look at the whole parak there to tell you definitely.
I think it's the death of Shaul. Daughters of Israel weep over Shaul, who clothed you in scarlet with other delights, who put ornaments of gold upon your apparel. How are the mighty fallen in the midst of the battle, O Yonasan, slain on thy high places? I am distressed for thee, my brother Yonasan. Very dear hast thou been to me. Thy love to me was wonderful, more than the love of women. How are the mighty fallen, and the weapons of war cast away?
Right. Now, I'm not sure if this is space. Yeah. Exactly when this statement was made, I'm not sure. No. Excuse me. But this is David Melech. It was David Melech saying this was a hesped that David Melech was giving for Yonasan. This was
Right.
after Shaul died. This was after Shaul and Yonasan died with him. I'm not sure. They all Shaul and all his sons died in battle, and so this was the hesped, the eulogy that David was giving for Yonasan.
Right. That makes sense.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. If you go back to 17, and David lamented with his lamentation over Shaul and over Yonasan, his son.
Right.
Yeah, that's the beginning of this eulogy.
Okay. So it's there. It's a statement there that this also proves that the what's referred to as the Avos Nafshis is a higher type of love than the love that the physical love for women.
Right.
We don't have that nowadays, do we? We're not orientated enough.
Well, I mean, there are the examples. 1 second. The examples that are given also a Rav for a Talmud or a Talmud for a Rav, right? For Chachamim. So in that aspect, yeah, we have those. That does exist as money. That's sure. I would say so.
Mm. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, weiter. Vizo he avas Hashem l'Yisrael. And this is the love of Hashem for the Jewish people. Shamar ha Nevi he Avas Rivka Liakov. And it says that he said that the prophet said it is the love of Rivka for Yaakov. Vahavas Yitzchak le so Ahavas Gofnis.
Goofinis, right?
Goofinis. And the love of Yitzchak to do the love of the physical love.
Yeah, I mean, when it speaks, he's contrasting the Ava of Rivka to Yaakov, because it simply says there that Rivka was had love for Yaakov, whereas without any reason attached to it. Whereas the pasuk speaks about the Ava that Yitzchak had for Esav was dependent upon Tzayid B'Piv. It was dependent upon some physical cause. So Yitzchak's love for Esav was a completely different and much lower love for Esav than the love that Rivka had for Yaakov. Although it's a little bit different. I mean, obviously Rivka had love for Yaakov because of the fact that she was his mother and he was a son, right?
Right.
I mean, when you look at those psukim itself, you have to wonder exactly what the Torah is coming to teach us there. I mean, the fact that the Torah is telling you that Rivka, the mother, loves the son Yaakov. I mean, the Torah, there's no chiddush in that. Obviously, a mother is going to love a son, right?
Right.
So I think what's the chiddush is what's not said, because it doesn't mention anything about Rivka loving Esav, and you understand that from the fact that it speaks about Yitzchak loving Esav, right?
Right.
Meaning the chiddush is that the pasuk's telling you that Rivka loved Yaakov, which is obviously very natural, but what's left out, meaning the fact that it doesn't mention anything about Rivka's love for Esav, that's the chiddush of the pasuk, that Rivka did not love Esav, right? And how do you know what's the verification of that Rivka did not love Esav? Because the pasuk says that Yitzchak loved Esav, but it was because of a special reason. Meaning even Yitzchak would not love Esav simply from the fact that he was his son.
I don't know. That doesn't sound right to me. A father loves his son. Yitzchak held out hope for Esav against the against what you would think, because he hoped that Esav had some redeemable qualities, but wasn't that hope based on the fact that he loved him?
What does the pasuk say? That's what he's saying here. V'chein muchach hakaser v'yayev Yitzchak es Esav ki tzayid b'fiv v'tole ha'ava b'davar b'tzeid. It was a toli b'davar. Yitzchak's love for Esav was toli b'davar. I mean, it wasn't enough that he was the son of his own son, right? It was the pasuk had to give the reason why Yitzchak loved Esav. Normally you don't have to give a reason why a father loves a son, do you?
So it's saying that Yitzchak loved Esav because of the deer,
Right.
but that doesn't make any sense. You don't love somebody because he's a good cook.
Well, okay, that you have to understand what that means. Well, that's what it is. That's what he says here. V'chein mucha. Let's read that over again. Go ahead. V'chein mucha.
V'chein muchach. Muchach means it's a proof.
Yeah, it's proof, right? But start before a few words before. The Avos Yitzchak le'esav Avos gufnis.
Ahavas Yitzchak le'esav Ahavas gufnis. And the love of Esav, the love of Yitzchak for Esav was a physical love. V'chein mochiach hakasuv, and therefore we have a proof from the pasuk. V'havas Yitzchak es Esav, and Yitzchak loved Esav. Ki tayid now befiv, because the venison was in his mouth. But talui ahava b'tzaid, and it was dependent upon the love of the deer, of the venison. The revak.
The Rivka,
Rivka ahavas es Yaakov bli shum sava. Without she loved Yaakov without any reason. What's sava?
Siba, right? Any reason, right?
Without any reason. Well, that's. I mean, Yitzhak was not a fool. Esav. My understanding is from the drushes that I've heard that Esav didn't fool Yitzhak. Yitzhak understood that Esav had problems, but he held out hope that Esav could be redeemed because of his mitos, which was exemplified by the deer, by the fact that he was a great hunter, that Esav was the man of the field. He was the counterpart to Yaakov. That Yaakov was the one who was learning, who was the scholar, but he wasn't necessarily worldly enough. And so with Esav, there could be like a Yisachar Zevulun type of situation where Esav would compliment Yitzchak, Yaakov, with his physical abilities, and the two could be a team.
Right, exactly. That was the siba of the love that Yitzchak had, was that Esav, in spite of his terrible sins that he was doing, nevertheless, if he could somehow perfect himself in being that partner with Yaakov, so he would be fulfilling his purpose in life, and eventually perhaps he could become and do tshuva, right? But the ava wasn't there. The natural ava that a father should have for a son, that was not there, right? Because it's very hard to love a person who's doing such things as Esau is doing, right?
But why does Yitzchak hold out this extremely unlikely hope, given that we know that Esau was rotten to the core? My understanding is because he loved him so much that he was blinded to a certain extent to the obvious flaw in his logic.
I wouldn't say that. I would say that it's more a case of the fact that Asa, in spite of what he was and what he was doing, still had a tachlis to fill in life. And if somehow his tachlis in life could be fulfilled, so Yitzchak was hopeful that could happen. But the love, and again, as he said at the very beginning, we learned this yesterday. The love is a association between two people because of the attitudes and the outlooks that they have in common, right? And Esau's whole attitude towards everything was completely diametrically opposed to Yitzchak and to Yaakov. The only hope would be that if he somehow could turn around and nevertheless assist Yaakov in his being the Torah scholar, the Talmud Chacham, and then that would be enough of a basis for as they say, a love which is based on gufnius, a love which is based on something physical, right? The partnership that Esau, if he could be somehow influenced to support Yaakov, and they would therefore fulfill their mutual but different tasks in life. So that would be a basis of the love that could be perhaps sustained. But without that, then there'd be no love at all for Yitzchak to Esau, because he's not only not fulfilling his tachlis in life, but he's also diametrically opposed to everything that Yitzchak and Yaakov stood for. So that would make him, as I said, a soine, a person who's someone that you love, but someone you hate. The natural thing for Yitzchak to do with Esau would to be hate him, right? To hate him.
So according to your svara here, why was it that Yitzchak was blinded to the obvious wickedness of Esau?
Who says he was blinded? That's a misconception. Right? Yitzchak was not blinded.
Well, if he wasn't blinded, then why was he holding out this hope, which was so unlikely, that this person would turn around?
You don't give up on a person.
His son, full stop.
Yeah, even the son, one thing, but even anybody, there's even let's take Menashe. Menashe was one of the kings of Israel. Or it was maybe a Yehuda, I've forgotten exactly. There was no sin that Menashe didn't do, and he did it in a grand scale. He murdered people on a large scale. He did a Bozor on a large scale. Any area that you could possibly imagine, Menashe was fully involved with tremendous sins upon sins. And finally, it came to a situation. I mentioned this before to you. It's written in Tanakh that finally the situation came that his enemies captured him, right? Brought him to their land, and they made a fire, big fire. Took a brass copper kettle that was big enough to hold him in. They riveted it with holes, and they put this brass kettle on the burning flames of the fire, and then they put him in it, and he was very slowly and surely getting seared to death, literally seared to death, broiled to death. And he called out to all of his avodah to help him, each and every one of his avodah that he cherished and loved and worshipped so greatly and dearly. He called out to each and every one of them. And finally, with no help in sight from all his great and wonderful idols, he finally realized that he had been told by his grandfather, I think it was David Amelech, I think maybe it was Yahweh, his grandfather told him that one day he's going to have to realize the truth and turn his eyes and his heart towards the Kadosh Baruch Hu, cry out honestly to the Kadosh Baruch Hu. So he realized this must be the time, because if not, he's going to be dinner, roast meat for the population. And so he called out to Kadosh Baruch Hu, and he did a tshuva. He did a tshuva simply and only because of the fact that he didn't want to die, roasted to death. And Kadosh Baruch Hu did a miracle for him and picked him up out of the flaming, broiling hot cauldron that he was in, and brought him back and sat him down on his throne. And he kept his tshuva. He did a tshuva. He did an honest, absolute tshuva. And he, for many years afterwards, decades, if I'm not mistaken, he remained as and became a tzaddik. So it's possible. You never give up hope on somebody. So Yitzchak was ever hopeful that Esav could. That's the whole point. What was he giving the brachas to Esav for? Right? He understood that Esav was a Russia. He said, "You don't tell somebody go get me meat, and first of all, make sure you don't steal it. You don't tell somebody to go to the supermarket, and you don't tell them and don't steal the stuff. Don't shoplift when you go to the supermarket." And he said, and make sure when you shecht it, you shecht it kosher. Don't give me nevela. Don't give me tray food, right? So obviously Yitzchak was very well aware of Esav's involvement in sin. There's no doubt about it. Nevertheless, he wanted to give him the brachas, because the brachas could perhaps push him over the brink and hopefully make him do a proper tshuva in the end. In the end, it didn't work, but he was ever hopeful that would happen. But he wasn't blind. He wasn't fooled by Esav. So therefore, you have the contrast in the pasuk. The pasuk says naturally and obviously that Rivka loved Yaakov, and it really doesn't have to tell you that. That's obvious. Obviously, Rivka would love Yaakov, a tzaddik, a talmid chacham, a wonderful son that she was, obviously. So that's not necessary to tell you it all. So the pasuk is telling you what from what is written, it's telling you something which is not written, and that means that Rivka did not love Esav. Right? Nevertheless, when it comes to Yitzchak, it says that Esav was loved by Yitzchak, but it was only because it was a very low type of a gashmis, a physical love, based on the fact that he was able to catch and prepare this food, which was really representative of Esav being capable and willing and able to go into the physical world and assist those who are learning Torah. Right. Okay. Right. So that's basically we saw this in order to come to familiarity of these. According to the Rambam, again, you have basically three types of Ava Tivis, Ava Gashmis, and Ava Nafshis, Ruchnis. Okay, let's see, where should we go from here now? Maybe we'll go back to the beginning. Yeah. Okay, let's go back to paragraph number 7 now.
7. Sefer ha-ikrim, Ma'amar Gimel, Perek Lamed Vav. What is this?
Okay, this is a sefer ikrim. It's a sefer. Literally means the sefer of principles. Sefer of sefer musar and of ethics.
Okay. V'zahu derech ha'ahava ha'gemora asher mitzad ha'ov bilvad. So the way of love in the Gemara.
No, this the Ava Gemara. It's a complete love. It's a derech of Ava, which is a complete Gemara, meaning a complete love.
The way of complete love, that is from the side of
the
obligation.
Yeah, it's no. The Oav is the one who is doing the loving. The one who's doing the loving. Oav is the one who's doing the loving.
Okay, so it's from the side of the one who's doing the loving alone.
Right.
He ha'ava shehi ba'avur ha'to'alos el ha'ohev tidama el ha'ahava she'ya'ahav ha'adam ha'v'hamos
Animals.
Ba'avur ha'to'alos ha'magi'a alav mehen. So key, because this love, it is for the sake of what is this word? Toalos?
Toalos is the benefit.
Benefit. Toelis, it's the benefit to the one who does the loving. What is this? Tadima?
So okay, one second. So it's tadima. It's similar to.
Similar el ha'ava, to the love that is loved by a man to an animal.
Right. It's like this, that derech ava gemura. I mean, it's a full complete love, which is simply coming from the perspective of the one who's doing the love itself. Meaning, it's a one-sided love. It's a one-sided love, right? Kia avashi ba'avur toelis alaoyev. That it's the ava is caused by the benefit which is accruing to the one who's doing the love, right? I mean, this is a type of love which is completely non-reciprocal. It's a complete one-way love, right? That the the love is a love which is based entirely on the fact that there's a benefit that the one who is doing the love is receiving something from the thing he loves. Meaning in short, he loves the thing that he loves because of the benefits he gets from that thing that he loves. Make sense?
Not completely. I mean, yeah, I get the idea, but this idea that there's no reciprocation, I don't think that's possible.
No, he says exists. Tidama, that's why he gives you an example. Tidama, it's similar to Ela Ohova Shiyai Vadam Behemos. It's similar to the love that a person has for his animals. A person has animals, right? How many people they say they love their dog, they love their cat, right?
Right.
Someone was just telling me that he's a professional in America. So he said one of his clients came in with a friend of hers, and she had a cat. So she had I think it was a cat, or maybe it was a dog. I forgot. No, it was a dog. Excuse me, it was a dog. And this friend of ours holding this little dog in her lap. He said that the dog just had a kidney transplant operation.
Yeah.
Wonderful, huh? They can transplant the kidneys for dogs and give them there. She was telling them also they also can do heart transplants for dogs. You love your dog, he's getting a little bit, his heartbeat is not so great, so give him a transplant, give him a new heart. Wonder why do you think those operations cost a couple $100?
I would imagine it costs a huge amount, and it's probably not covered by insurance either.
I don't think so, and probably not. And why do you think people are spending so much money on that? Because they love their dog. Now, you think their dog loves them? Dog loves them. He gets his food. He's very happy. Start giving the dog food. He's not going to be happy with you.
I had a dog when I was a kid. Actually, no, I was an adult. We owned a dog, and the dog got away. And so I put up signs saying, lost dog. And I got a call. We found your dog. And so I went over to the house, and I knocked on the door. They opened the door, and I saw the dog. It was there, and I called called her name, and she came running over to me and jumped up and was licking my face and was so excited. And the child that this family that had found her, the child in this family said, "Wow, she really loves you."
Right. So that's why a dog is called a kelev. What's a kelev? It's kelev. A dog has a Kaddish Baruch Hu uses a dog a special when it's unique, a special attachment to its master. That's why it's called kalev. Just like the lave of its master, that's the heart of the dog is the way the heart of the master is the dog's heart is to the master. So there's a special exception by a dog, right? You might find some cases with other animals where they enjoy and they like it, but it's not the animal in general is not interested in doesn't have a love for the master.
Well, it's certainly not, it's certainly not the same kind of a love. It's certainly not the same quality of a love. But what I'm saying is there is something there. There is some reciprocation.
Right.
Even with a cat, which, cats are known to be not very much like dogs in that respect. But nevertheless, there's some minute recognition of the cat of its owner.
Yeah, well, that there's a pasuk in Nach about that. The pasuk says that the Klal Yisrael is criticized by the prophet that sure Yodea Adon v'Chamor Yodea Karneu, that the shore recognizes its master and the donkey recognizes the one who feeds it. In Klal Yisrael, they don't recognize the Kadosh Baruch Hu, right? So the Navi was very, very strongly chastising Klal Yisrael that we're not even on the basic level of simple animals like oxen and donkeys, that at least recognize the masters, that they give them food and they care for them. So he's right. There's recognition, but as it's said here now, Tidama. Let's look at what he says here. He's speaking on a very specific point here. Tidama ela ava shiyayev odon es behemos. Right. It's the love that a person has for animals. Right. For animals. Why? Bavur. Go ahead. Bavur. Because of. Bavur means for the sake of, or because of.
Bavur hato elis. Ha magia alav mehen, because of the benefit. What is magia?
That reaches them.
That reaches them from the human.
Well, no, this is the opposite way. The owner of the animal loves his animal because of the benefit the animal is doing for the owner.
What benefit is that?
Oh, he's going to explain. He's going to explain the. He says. It says here. It says. Right. For example, it gives the ava, the love that is because of the guardianship from damages, right?
So because the dog is like a watchdog, you mean?
Right. The dog is a watch. Well, let's say it's a shepherd dog. It shepherds the flock, right? It shepherds the flock, right? So
Right.
it keeps the wolves away. It keeps the sheep from straggling off, right?
Right.
So the benefit that the owner gets because of the dog's protection of his own properties as a watchdog, or from the shepherd dog, for example, right? So he loves the dog because of that benefit that he gets from it.
Right. Right.
And now they have, you can get special psychological certifications that they need these dogs. They need the pet for friendship. He needs a monkey. The guy needs a monkey for friendship. He has no friends in the world, so he finally befriended himself a monkey, right? So now this monkey has a socially and legal right to sit next to him on an airplane, to sit next to him in a restaurant, right? To I don't know, maybe go to the bathroom together with him, whatever they want to do there, right? So it's any you can get the psychologists to approve and certify anything these days. So but it's why? Because he needs that monkey for a friend. He's got no friends in the world except the monkey.
Okay. All right. So what's the point of this discussion?
So let's just finish this last paragraph there. Ki ha'adam, you see that last line in the middle of the last line there?
Ki ha'adam Yohev Haklavim Ba'avur Shemir Tam Oso Me Hanezek. Because a man loves his dog, because of he's merciful to him,
But because he's protecting him from damages. Shmiraso Milanez, he's protecting him from damage.
oh, protecting from damage. Okay, all right, so fine. So now what's the point here? The complete
Right.
love is one-sided.
Right. So he's giving an example. He's giving this an example of a complete love, which is completely one-sided, right? And I mean, he's using the example of that of people for animals because that's probably the most common example. But nevertheless, it can be transferred to to people as well. Sometimes a person simply the only reason he loves this person, the only reason he associates with this person is because of whatever benefit they can get from that person.
So this paragraph is saying that there is such a thing as a kind of love that's completely one-sided.
That's right. Right.
Okay.
That's,
And the example is the love a person has for an animal.
right.
Okay, I hear.
Okay. Very good. I get that it's a good place to start. Let's take a little break.
Lou and
Yes.
Maria, could you? I asked you both because Lou's probably going to forget. Could you give my apologies to Rabbi Levitt, please? I won't be able to be in. I'm going to a ceremony down in our community. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
This is for the lost soldiers from the down here. All right.
All right.
So,
Have a good one.
Okay, thank you. But see you tomorrow. Yeah, see you tomorrow. Oh no, I don't know about tomorrow.
Yeah, that reminds me also, we have a barbecue tomorrow.
Mm.
We're meeting at 10. So I'll probably well, no, I don't think I will. No, I don't think I'll be here tomorrow.
Mm. So I don't know what's happening tomorrow. Have to play it by ear. So Rabbi Furst, I'm not too sure what's happening either.
All right. We'll see what happens.
Okay.
Have a good afternoon. We'll see you about tomorrow.
Okay. Bye. Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Okay, bye.
All right, take care.